Perfectionism will bring you failure, and the reason why that is because the perfect plan doesn't actually exist. The only thing that you can do, especially if for whatever reason you have been procrastinating because you're trying to get things perfect all the time before you actually start, you actually waste a lot of valuable time that you could have been doing by actually doing whatever it is, by actually practicing what you do, by actually doing the things that you need to do. You can perfect things as you go along, but the best thing for you to do is to start taking action, even if that action is imperfect, even if that action isn't exactly what you're the most happiest with. You can always change these things as you go along. The perfect plan doesn't exist, and if you're waiting for the perfect plan to get things right every single time, you're ultimately going to fail, because you are human, you are fallible. You are not going to make things perfect every single time you try and attempt them. You're not going to succeed at every attempt that you do. So you have to allow yourself to not be perfect. You have to allow yourself to be a student and to make mistakes, because if you're worried about making mistakes and you're worried about not getting things right the first time, then ultimately you're not actually going to get anywhere, and you're just going to waste a lot of valuable time. Because the truth is, the more practice you put into whatever it is that you're doing, the better and more perfect you will become. But if you've got to put in the practice. If we are too busy trying not to make mistakes, we hardly make anything. So never be afraid to mess up, because by messing up you learn better ways of doing things. But firstly, you need to mess up. You need to start doing whatever it is that you feel like you need to be doing. Recently I made a video on not being afraid to fail, and why you should never be afraid of failure and failing at things. So I highly recommend, if you're interested in that kind of topic, then please go and watch that video. So basically, essentially, you need to start with where you are and with what you have, because that's all at the end of the day that everybody has. We all have the place that we're at right now, and the resources that we currently have. Because if you're waiting, for example, let's say to start a YouTube channel until you get a better camera or better audio equipment, or before you can afford a studio, then it's going to take a lot of, that kind of thing might take a lot of time. You're going to be wasting a lot of time, when actually it's better to start off with minimal resources, and the resources that you actually have, which may be just a phone, or something like that. You need to start off with what you have. The perfect time is always going to be right now, taking action right now. Even if, let's say you are trying to create a YouTube channel or something like that, your first few videos might be really low quality, they might be really poor quality, but at least you're getting the reps in, at least you're getting practice in, because practice does make perfect. And I know that is a very cliche saying, but sometimes we have to really listen and pay attention to cliches, because usually if something is a cliche, it's usually true, because it's something that everybody knows instinctively. It's something that everyone talks about all the time. And if it's a cliche, if it's a saying that you hear all the time, then there's probably some truth in it, and you should pay attention to it. So pay attention to that saying, that cliche saying, that practice makes perfect, because it truly does. So, take a moment, find a way to get yourself inspired. Perhaps you listen to some inspirational music, or perhaps you listen to a motivational video. Perhaps you read an inspirational quote or an inspirational book or something like that. Take a moment to get inspired, and whatever comes into your head, whatever inspired thought that you get, take action on it, and just trust that the next ideas will start to unfold before you. That once you get started, it's so much easier to keep going once you get that momentum. Just trust that the plan will work itself out, because that's what you need to say to yourself. That's a good quote that I heard from Mel Robbins recently. Like, she would say, what if it all works out? Even if the conditions aren't 100% perfect right now, and I don't have the perfect plan, but what if I just start? What if I just start this project, or whatever it may be for you? What if I just begin, and perhaps it will just work out? Perhaps everything will fall into place. Maybe at some point these things will start to make sense to me. Maybe the perfect plans will come to me, or more perfect plans. Just keep on working on these inspired thoughts that are obviously related to what you're trying to achieve, and then keep on going. Just trust that the next new idea is going to be there for you. So, for example, like, I've seen this in my own life, and I have another YouTube channel which is a dating and relationship channel, and if you're interested in dating and relationships and you're single and you're trying to have better relationships with your spouse or something like that, then, by all means go and check out that channel. But if you're not interested in that kind of stuff, then it probably won't be for you. But I'm just going to use this channel as a sort of analogy, so a sort of a way to describe basically my point. And that is, on that channel, I've made hundreds and hundreds of videos, and I'm never out of video ideas because I have this trust that I'm always going to find something to talk about. I'm always going to find a new subject to discuss. And that's why I've made hundreds and hundreds of videos on that channel, because I am working with my inspired thoughts. I'm working with, the videos that have already worked for me, and I make similar videos related to those topics. I have unlimited video ideas, and you're going to see the same with this channel. Like in a couple of years, come back and you'll probably see that there's a good few hundred videos on this channel because, I trust and I take inspired thought and inspired action on ideas that come to me. And it's just having this belief that a new idea will come, and trusting that new ideas will always continuously be coming towards me. And I trust that everything is going to work out for me, that everything is going to work out fine, and I'm exactly where I need to be. So understand that for yourself. Like, how can you use that for yourself? Like, what do you need to do? What are perhaps some things that you're doing that are holding you back? And let go of those things and start working with your inspired thought, and let go of the idea of being a perfectionist and coming up with the perfect plan and not doing things until the exact time is right. Because perhaps if you just start, and if the plan's a bit messy, if you're a bit wobbly, like sometimes you might hear me talking in videos and I sound a bit wobbly, just keep on going, because eventually you're going to get better. You're going to get better experience because you keep on putting the practice in. But if you don't put in the practice, if you don't put the reps in, you're not going to get any better. And the more unperfect, shall we say, that you'll always stay at that level, because you're not continuing to try and do more and just keep on going, basically, and you keep on creating whatever this may be for you. You have to put in the practice, and you have to trust that everything is going to work out. You have to trust that these ideas will keep on coming to you, that you're exactly where you need to be, and that things are going to work out. So, for example, some people might have fears of, well, what if I start a blog and no one reads it? What if I start a YouTube channel and no one watches my videos? What if I become a musician but no one wants to come to my gigs? Do it anyway. Just do it anyway, because even if it feels humiliating to you, even if it feels bad to you, even if it feels like not what you wanted, not what you thought about, then just keep on doing it anyway. You have to keep on doing it, because by doing that, even if you're worried no one's going to show up, no one's going to read your blog, no one's going to watch your videos, at least you've got in some practice. And basically, when the viewers do come in, when the readers come in, when the audience comes for you, when your listeners come to you, you will then be in a place where you've practiced a lot. And therefore, now you are actually ready to be able to deliver your message, if that message is through your forms of art, through music, through writing, through audio, through video. You got to trust that the audience will come. And if they are not here yet, it still means perhaps that you still need to practice more, that you need to keep on working on it, that you got to keep on going, basically. If they're not here yet, if the audience that you want is not here yet, for whatever thing that may be for you, then perhaps it just means that you need to keep on working and keep on practicing. And so it prepares you, basically. Because there's a good quote that I like, and it goes something like, success is where preparation meets opportunity. And preparation is basically another word for practice. Like, you're putting yourself out there, you're taking opportunities when they come to you, acting on inspired thought. And then when the right opportunity comes and you've put in enough practice, therefore, that's when you're going to see the most success. That's when you're going to get a breakthrough. That's when you're going to make it, shall we say. That's when you're going to find that audience for you. But you've got to be putting in the practice. You've got to be meeting those opportunities. You've got to be out there in order to score. You've got to be in the game to score. And you're not going to be able to reap the benefits of these opportunities if you're not putting yourself out there. And you need to put yourself out there before you become perfect at your craft. So stop trying to be perfect, because these things do tend to work out in the end. And ask yourself that question so you feel a bit more relief. What if it all works out for me? What if I do this, and sure, perhaps what I'm doing isn't at the level that I want it to be, but what if that's exactly what I need to be doing? What if that's exactly what I need right now? And what if that's exactly what I need to do in order to reach the success or achievement that I want? So I hope that's helped you. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.